All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that story, A Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Now that you're a little more familiar with the story, let's create our own. To create our own caterpillar, we're going to need 2 pieces of green paper. What I did is I used watercolor paint and painted 2 pieces of white paper green. And I also mixed in a little bit of blue and some yellow to look more like Eric Carle's caterpillar colors. If you don't have paint, you can use crayons or markers or anything to turn your paper green. Or if you happen to have green construction paper at home, you're more than welcome to use that too. Then I'm going to need a little bit of red paper. So I colored in part of my paper red and I left some of it white. I'm going to need a little bit of white paper also at some point just to create the caterpillar's eyes. So you're going to need 2 pieces of green paper and a piece of red paper. The red paper is not going to be very big though. You're only going to need one little piece of it. Also, you are going to need a pair of scissors and you're going to need something to attach your pieces of paper together. So I am going to use Elmer's glue, but if you don't have Elmer's glue, you can use a glue stick. You could use tape. A stapler would work great, but most of us don't have a stapler at home. So I am going to use glue, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so if you painted your paper, make sure your paper is dry before you start to do any of the next steps. Do not try to do anything if you still have a wet paper. So if your paper's wet, just wait. Pause, go do something, come back a little bit. All right, now that your paper's dry and you're ready to go, what we're going to do is you really only need 1 piece of this paper. I had you make 2 just in case, so that way you don't have to start over if you make a mistake. But you're really only going to need 1 piece of this paper, the green paper. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to take your paper. You're going to hold it landscape style, just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half. So we're going to start by cutting our paper in half. It doesn't have to be perfect. You could just eyeball it and look and see if it looks like it's about half. All right, so it should be pretty close. Mine's not perfect, but it's close. All right, so we cut it in half. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put those papers on top of each other, just like this, and you're going to cut it in half again. Put them right on top of each other and cut our papers in half one more time. So far we've cut it in half twice. So you should have 2 piles with 2 papers. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut each one of those piles in half one more time. So you're going to take this pile, cut it in half again. And again, they don't have to be perfect. You're just trying to make them as close to even as you can. They don't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to cut my next pile in half again. Be careful when you're using the scissors, just take your time. So now you should have 8 little strips of green paper, right? That is going to be our caterpillar's body, all right? So we're going to start making the body first. So you can just scoot some of them to the side and start with your first piece. You're going to take your piece of paper, you're going to fold it into a circle, just like this, all right? With the green on the outside. So you want to have the green part on the outside. Then what you're going to do is take your glue, if you're using glue, or your glue stick. If you're using tape, you'll do it a little bit different, but you'll do the same process. Or staples, you're just going to put a little glue on it, and then you're going to fold the other side up and just attach it together, just like that. Line it up, and then just hold it for a couple seconds. I usually count to 10 real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it will be attached, all right? So if you were using staples instead of using glue, you would fold it like this and then just put a staple or 2 in it like that. Or if you were using tape, you could rip a little piece of tape and put it on right like that. All right, so now you have your first part. 7 more to go. Next one, you're going to take your next strip and you're going to put it through that circle you just did, and you're going to do the same process. You're going to put 2 little dots of glue on it if you're using glue, and then fold that part over, attach it, and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you're starting to make a little bit of a chain. Then you'll do the same thing again. Go in the other direction. Slide your piece through. And again, make sure every time that your green is on the outside. You don't want your white on the outside. You want your green on the outside. And then same thing, you'll put 2 little dots. fold your paper over. Can't pick mine up without getting glue in my hands, but that's okay. And then count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right? Keep going. You're going to keep doing this process over and over and over again until you've done all 8. Now, since I'm using glue, glue takes a little bit of time to dry. So I have to be kind of careful with this while I'm working. I don't want to be too rough with my pieces of paper because this glue is not dry yet. It could come apart pretty easily. So I'm just trying to be very careful that I'm not, moving it around too much or playing with it too much. I'm just trying to get it put together first. And I keep alternating. You see how I keep doing one going this way, one going the other way, one going this way, one going the other way. So you'll create a pattern. This is one of our art vocabulary words, pattern. So something that repeats over and over again. So we're going to keep making our pattern. All right, so I got 5 down, 3 to go. And it's starting to get longer. It's actually starting to get a little bit more caterpillar-like. So you're going to keep doing the same process, one after another. All right, now I have all 8 of my circles attached together to make my caterpillar. Look, mine's so long you can't even see it all at once. So right now I'm just going to scoot that off to the side a little bit, and I'm going to go to my red piece of paper. I'm going to do the same thing with my red piece of paper if it'll focus. Let's see. And you're going to cut a little strip of paper about the same width as those ones. If you want to measure it out with a ruler and make sure it's close, you can. You don't have to, though. You could just kind of look at it and see if it's about the same size. Now you're going to do the same thing with that red piece of paper. At the end of your chain, your caterpillar chain, you're going to put that red piece of paper on too. This is going to be the caterpillar's head. So we're going to attach that part. And that is our caterpillar's head, because in The Very Hungry Caterpillar, he had a red head. So there is my head. And all we need now is we're going to make some eyes too. So the way you're going to make eyes is go to your piece of white paper, or you just have scrap white paper, and you can draw 2 eyes. I'm going to use a pencil to do it. Now, your eyes can be whatever size you want. You can make them big, you can make them small. It's your choice. You're the artist in charge, so you're going to make them how you want them. Oh, I want to put my little eyeballs in my eyes too before I even cut it out. There's my eyes. Now I'm going to cut those out. Just take your time. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're doing the best we can. If you had something else at home, like some googly eyes, you could use those. If you have like paint, you could always paint your eyes on instead of doing it like this. I do it like this just because I think this is the easiest way for me to do it. But if you have a different way to do it, you're more than welcome to. Right? Because remember, art is all about being creative and doing it your own way. So now I have my eyes. So now I'm going to move my thing around to where I want my eyes to be. I think I'm going to put them right here. And then I'm going to put 2 dots. One for each eye. And I'm going to pick the eyes up. Take them and put them onto those little glue spots. Have them where I want them to be. All right, and there is my Very Hungry Caterpillar. All right. If you guys want to go in and add other details, you're more than welcome to. If you wanted to add a smile maybe or antennas, you could do anything you want. But this is what your caterpillar is going to look something like when you're done. All right. Send me a picture when you guys are finished. I can't wait to see what you guys create. Good luck.